Welcome to another edition of Dead Air Live. Tonight we have a very exciting show. We're going to be doing some belly dancing tonight with Nadira Jamal. How you doing, Nadira?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I am excellent. Nadira, we want to know all about you, how belly dancing began with you. Tell us, we want to hear everything.
Well, I started belly dancing in 2000. My mother was a dance reviewer in Buffalo, New York, and she was sent to review a belly dance show, and she came back and she said, "You'd be good at this." You know, I'd taken the usual ballet, tap, jazz combination as a kid, and just none of them really felt like me. And so when I was 18, she came back from the show and suggested it. It took me a little while to give it a try, but in 2000, I was doing an internship with the Navy in Newport. So I took some classes in Providence, and I got hooked. So you should always listen to your mother.
Yes, you should always listen to your mother. Now, you have a studio here in Somerville, Massachusetts called Third Life Studio.
That's not actually my studio, but that's where I teach. So
okay, you teach there.
That's right.
And you teach belly dancing there every Wednesday night at 8 p.m.?
That's right.
And people can just drop in?
They can. It's better if they sign up in advance. That way I can, get to know them before we get started to make sure that they go to the right level and make sure that I take their experience into account before we begin.
One of the things that I know our viewers would like to know is the origin of belly dancing. Where did it all begin? Because it has fascinating, it's just fascinating. Where did it begin? Yeah.
Well, there are kind of a lot of myths and stereotypes out there about the origins of belly dance. A lot of people claim that it comes from Indian temple dancing or from birthing rituals. But the one thing that everybody does agree on is that it has its most recent roots in women's social dancing. So the kinds of things that women throughout the Middle East would do at weddings and parties when they just get together to have a good time.
One of the things you were saying earlier is that strippers stole a lot of the moves from the belly dancers. Is this true?
That's right. In the 1890s, belly dance was performed in the U.S. for the first time at the World's Fair in Chicago as part of a larger exposition on folk dances from around the world, and nobody was going. Nobody was buying tickets. The exhibit was losing a lot of money. And so the promoter, Saul Bloom, who was a very smart guy, he understood that Victorians liked to be scandalized. They would pay good money to see something that they could talk about how shocking it was to their friends.
Really?
So he made a big deal out of the fact that it was belly dance and these women were dancing without corsets on. And remember, this is at a time when everyone was wearing very tightly corseted dresses, and they would put skirts on pianos so that they wouldn't see the legs and get excited by the legs of the piano. And so people did in fact go, and they spent good money to see belly dance and were scandalized by it. And so the burlesque dancers of the day saw a good opportunity there. They started calling it the hoochie coochie.
Oh, I like that
And
name.
they borrowed a lot of the hip movements and
Right.
et cetera, except that they did it differently. They did it specifically to titillate, so they'd have their legs wide apart, their mouths hanging open, and this very, kind of sexual atmosphere to it. While, belly dancers do the same movements in a very refined, controlled way. And in fact, throughout the Middle East, this is what, little girls and the grandmas do.
Grandmothers do belly dancing?
Oh, absolutely. I danced at a party for an Egyptian family on Saturday, and the grandmother was up there dancing with me. So.
So this is their tradition to belly dance?
Absolutely.
So they're taught, and it's not something that's erotic, and a lot of people think belly dancing, it's erotic, but you're saying it's not.
No, there's nothing inherently sexual about it. It can be very sensual and very beautiful to watch because, a woman who's moving her body and enjoying it is inherently sexy.
Right.
But there's nothing sexual about the dance itself.
Okay, now one of the things I know our viewers would love to know is, do men belly dance?
They can and they do. It's not very common these days. Long ago, there were both men's dances and women's dances, and there were male professional dancers and female professional dancers. Starting in about the 30s, you started getting far fewer male belly dancers, because up until that time, the primary venue for professional dancers was private parties. So they'd dance at weddings, at circumcision parties, etc.
Circumcision
Yes,
parties?
and Muslims are circumcised, and so that's a big, it's a rite of passage for, the baby's circumcised. So,
okay, yeah.
But that would be like a bris for Jews. It would, it's a big party and a big family celebration. But starting in about the 30s, you got a nightclub scene in Cairo and Beirut, and most of the people going out to the nightclubs were men, and they preferred to see female dancers, and so over time there were fewer and fewer male dancers.
So there's some restrictions, though, when a man belly dances. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, men generally have a lot less freedom of motion in their hips. They also have slightly higher centers of gravity, and so it can take them a little bit while to really loosen up.
Oh, they do?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So we have more mass in our hips, whereas
Right.
they have more in the shoulders, and so the whole center
Right.
of gravity is higher.
So because we make babies, it's easier for us to belly dance.
Exactly. We're just a lot looser in the hips in general. So
looser.
they can do it. It just takes them a little bit, more practice and more time.
And I see behind us you have a whole, should I call this your harem?
If you'd like. These are 6 of my students.
And how long have your students been doing belly dancing? Do they stay for 8 weeks? Do they just keep taking belly dancing? Do you teach them new moves?
I have 2 of my students here who were with me from my very first class a year ago, although both of them had a little bit of previous experience with another teacher.
Okay.
So, but it does take decades to learn properly. So.
Oh, it does. So,
absolutely.
So you're saying that I could take a belly dance class with you, and it would take a few years to master it.
Oh, absolutely. It's like ballet. You start when you're 6 years old, and you have your peak at 25.
Right.
Most belly dancers start it while they're in college, and then are at their best about in their 40s.
Do you have to breathe? Like a singer has to breathe from the diaphragm. Is breathing involved with belly dancing?
Oh, absolutely. If you breathe through your diaphragm, that can help loosen up your stomach so you don't get a stitch in your side as you exert yourself.
Okay, good.
But also breath can help motivate the movement. And in fact, we'll work with that a little bit today.
Excellent. So you're going to teach us some great moves.
Oh, absolutely.
But one of the things that we want to tell everybody is on May 9th, it's World Belly Dancing Day. I never knew there was such a thing, but why not? We celebrate days for everything.
That's great.
And there's going to be a big benefit for...
Yes, this is a benefit for the Samaritans. This is a suicide prevention group that my husband volunteers for, actually.
That's excellent.
And so we'll be giving an introductory workshop. So if anybody wants to try belly dance out, that's an hour and a half on May 9th, 2 o'clock at Third Life Studio.
That's great. Now tonight, tell us some of the things you're going to be doing here tonight.
We're going to be working with 2 hip movements. One is called a hip lift, and the other is a hip circle. We're going to learn some step patterns and some turns and some motions for our hands. And then we'll put all of that together into a choreography.
How exciting. Now, can the people at home, do you have any advice for them? Should they be ready, standing up in front of the TV so they can learn some of these moves?
I would suggest take your shoes off and don't skip the warm-up.
Oh, okay. Well, how long do you warm up for?
Oh, I think we'll be doing about 8 minutes. So.
Do you sweat when you warm up, or is it just...
Just a little bit.
Really? Okay, so this is going to be an aerobic exercise. So this is good for people to do to lose weight.
Yes. Like any activity, you have to do it consistently and you have to do a lot of it to lose weight. But at the same time, you'll start to appreciate your body for what it can do rather than what it looks like. Belly dance is one of those things that works on any body. It looks completely different on every body type, but equally good. So if you have a lot of fat in your belly, you'll get a really nice reverb when you do the motion called the shimmy.
Wow, that is so cool.
Absolutely.
Okay, so should we get started here? All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Let's start by learning proper belly dance posture. This is important both for your movements to read properly on your body, but also to protect your lower back and your neck as we dance. So we'll start by making sure that your feet are directly below your hip bones. If you're not sure where your hip bones are, really dig in there. You should feel 2 bumps right here. And make sure that your feet stay directly below there. Make sure that your toes are pointing forward. If your toes open out, your knees will tend to roll in, and that will disengage all of the muscles in your thighs. So take them straight forward. Bend your knees. Modern Egyptian style uses your knees almost straight, but just unlocked, whereas the American style that I perform in, as well as the older folkloric Arabic styles, use a slightly seated posture. In this seated posture, make sure that your pelvis is tucked under. This will keep your lower back very long. Now, a nice way to check your tuck is to take 2 fingers and place them on your lower back. If you straighten your legs, you'll see that your fingers point out behind you. As you bend and tuck under, your fingers should point straight down. In this tucked position, you want to lift up your rib cage. So for the ladies watching, it's as if someone has a fish hook attached to your bra and they're lifting it straight up. Let's start by collapsing first. Then roll open. Collapse and roll open. From this position, roll your shoulders back and down, and then try to relax and smile. Let's get started with the warm-up. First, we'll start with head rolls. So bring your head to the side and towards the front. As you come up to the side, pause there for a second. We're not going to go back behind. That will put a lot of pressure on your neck. We're going to take your head straight over to the other shoulder. Keep going, down. And when you reach the opposite shoulder, reach down with the other hand and wiggle your fingers. This is a conductor's stretch that I learned from a dancer friend of mine named Zamira, who was also a musician. Now, as you're wiggling your fingers, reach your hands away from your shoulder and your shoulder away from your neck. You should feel a nice stretch up the side of your shoulder and into the base of your neck. Let go of the hand. We're going to continue our circle up and over. And then when you get to the front, we're going to pause there. Give the crown of your head a very gentle tug. This should bring the stretch down into the base of your neck. And release your hands. We're going to circle in the opposite direction. So come back up to the shoulder, up and over with a long swan-like neck. Over to the shoulder, down towards the front, up to the shoulder, up and over, down towards the front. And when you reach the side, pause there, reach down with the other hand and wiggle your fingers. Again, make sure that the hand is stretching away from the shoulder and the shoulder is stretching away from the neck. Release the hand, continue the head up and over, down towards the front, back up to the shoulder, and then come to center. From here, we're going to loosen up our shoulders with some shoulder rolls. Now let's start with a square shape. So bring your shoulders to the front, up in the front, up and back, and down and back. Again, down in front, up and back, down and back. Now let's smooth it out. Half a circle, back half of the circle, front half of the circle, back half of the circle. Keep going. This both loosens up your shoulders and it builds the muscles in your back that will help support your lifted posture and the upper body movements that we use in belly dance. Now let's add the elbows. Bring them up, and as you come down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. This is similar to the lat pull bar at the gym. Sweep and squeeze. Now the full arm. And try to keep this motion nice and smooth. It's actually very hard to do this smoothly as opposed to flinging your arms up and flinging them back, but that works all the smaller muscles in your arms and your shoulders. Opposite direction, down to the back. And really press down as you come down. Sweep it smoothly to the back and really press. Pretend that you're blowing all the air out of an air mattress. Trying to put it away. Push. Okay, now we'll sweep our arms overhead. In this position, I'd like you to reach up with your left hand and down with your left hip. You should feel a nice stretch up the side of your body as you do this. It doesn't really matter what you do with your other hand. Switch sides, so your right hand is up, your right hip is down. First, stretch up your right side. And switch. And switch. Come back to center, make sure that your pelvis is still tucked. Relax your shoulders down, and we'll float our arms open. Now before we stretch our legs, we're going to get the blood flowing with a movement that I call swings. Let me demonstrate before you try it. You start by reaching up, then you bend your knees and come back up. If any of you have knee problems, you should avoid this movement. Instead, you can do some marching in place to get the blood flowing. Okay, so we're going to do a total of 5 swings. That will be 4 full swings, and then on the 5th one, we'll stay down. Ready? Reach up and swing. 2, and swing, 3, and swing, 4, and swing. 5th one, stay down. In this position, I'd like you to bring your legs apart and bend your right knee and press your left inner thigh into the floor. Let me angle my body so you can see this. While you're in this position, you should feel a nice stretch up your left inner thigh. Keep your weight back on your heels as you go and rotate the hip of the bent knee up towards the ceiling. That should bring the stretch more deeply into the inner thigh. If you're not comfortable resting your hands on the floor, you can support your weight on your thighs. Bring your weight to the other side. So for those of you at home, this is your right knee bent, your left inner thigh pressed into the floor. Make sure that your weight stays back on your heels. If you can't wiggle your toes, your weight's too far forward. And the bent knee, that's your right leg, the hip should be rotating up towards the ceiling. Switch sides. Left knee bent, right inner thigh pressing into the floor. Weight stays back on the heels and toes can wiggle. Left butt cheek rotates up towards the ceiling. Switch sides. So once again, that's your right knee bent, your left inner thigh pressing into the floor. Check your heels, your toes, and your butt cheeks. Now bring your weight to center. Make sure that your knees are not locked. They should not be fully straightened. Reach in, grab your calves, and tug your upper body closer to your legs. That should give you a nice stretch up in the hamstrings and the backs of your thighs. If you're feeling this more in your calves, bend your knees a little bit more and tug yourself a little closer. Now, if you have allergies or balance problems, you want to be extra careful with this movement, so keep your hands farther away from your body to support your balance. Walk your feet together. Now I want you to grab onto your elbows and let your torso hang freely from your hips. Relax your head and let everything hang loosely and relax down. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, and every time we exhale, I want you to relax and let your torso sink a little bit closer to the floor. Big inhalation in. Exhale and release. Big inhalation in. Exhale and release. Big inhalation in. Exhale and release. From here, let go of your arms. Shake out anything that still feels tight. Wiggling around is a good idea. Nod your head yes gently a few times. Shake it out no. And I highly recommend making some funny faces and blowing bubbles to release the tension in your face. When you're feeling nice and loose, bend your knees, tuck your pelvis under. We're going to roll up very slowly. So keep your fingertips in contact with the fronts of your legs as we go, and keep your chin tucked down to your chest. I'll call out the positions as we reach them. So your hands start from about ankle distance. They're about halfway up your shins. Fingertips just below your kneecaps. And now we start rolling up into dance posture, so make sure that your knees are bent. Tuck your pelvis under. Fingertips just passing your knees. And picture each one of your backbones, your vertebrae. Picture them stacking one at a time on top of the one below. Fingertips halfway up your thighs. Your rib cage starts to uncurl into that lifted dance posture. Head comes up last. Arms follow through like a little plant sprouting. The flower opens in the sunshine. The petals fall off and sink to the ground. But there's an updraft, so the petals are lifted on the wind again, and then they float down. Very nice. Kick out your legs. Lift up your knees. And let's get started with our first isolation. The most important movements in belly dance are done in the hips and the torso, so we'll begin with 2 of those. Our first movement is called a hip lift. We'll start with a foot forward position. So if you bring your foot just a few inches in front of the other one, so again, that's ball of the foot to the toe, just out in front of you, and make sure that your knees stay bent, your pelvis is tucked, your chest is lifted, shoulders roll back and down. Now dig into your hip again and feel where your hip bone is, and feel for your rib cage. Your goal is to get these 2 points close together. So you lift your hip up to come into the rib cage, and release it back down. Bring it up, and release it down. Let's move our hands and try it again. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I'd like to make this a sharp movement, so let's give that a try first. Make it sharp, sharp, sharp. The sharpness comes from squeezing your gluteals, that's your butt cheek. So if it's your right hip lifting, it's your right butt cheek doing the squeezing. Sharp, 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 sharp. Let's try the other side. So now that's your left foot in front and your left hip lifting up. Let's try it softly first. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up. Let's make it sharp, 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 sharp. Remember the butt cheek. Sharp, 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 sharp. Let's give that a try with some music. Preparation, bring your right foot forward. Check your posture. Don't forget to relax and smile as you go. And again, remember that the foot needs to be slightly in front. Five, six, 7, 8. Lift and lift and lift and lift. Lift and lift and lift. Switch sides. Lift and lift. Lift and lift. Sharp, 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 sharp. Let's try a variation on this movement. We're going to take a step, lift one side, step, lift one side, step, right, step, left, step, right, step, left. Let's take this in a circle. Step, left, step, right, step, left, step, right, step, left, step, right, step, left, twice as fast. Step, lift, step, lift, step, lift, arms overhead, strong V, proud posture. Excellent. Let's try a variation of this movement. Instead of doing just one lift, we're going to do 3. So that will be step, triple lift. 5, 6, here we go. Step, lift, 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 step, lift, 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 step, lift, 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 step, lift. Keep going. Excellent. Now let's try mixing those. So what we're going to do is begin with a hit. That will be hit, step, hit, step, 3 hits, 2, 3, and step. Other side. Hit, step, hit, step. Now 3. Hit, 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 step. Again. 1, step, 1, step, triple. 1, 2, 3, step, full speed. Hit, step, hit, step, hit, 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 step, hit, step, hit, step, hit, 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 step. Let's see if we can travel with this movement. That's going to look like hit, step, hit, step, hit, 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 step, back, hit to the back, hit to the back, 3 hits, hit, 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 and to the front. Let's try that together. So again, we're starting with a hit on our left hip. 5, 6, 7, 8, and hit, step, hit, step, hit, 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 step, back, hit to the back, hit to the back, hit hit, hit, to the front. Let's take that up to full speed. Are you ready? 5, 6, start on the left. Hit, step, hit, step, hit, hit, hit to the back. Hit, back, hit, back, hit, hit, hit to the front. Hit, step, hit, step, hit, 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 back. Hit, back, hit, back, hit, hit, hit. You're starting to get the hang of this movement? Let's decorate this a little bit by adding some arms. As we do single hits forward, we're going to have our palms open and then close. Let's try that. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open, close, open, close to the back. Open, close, open, close to the front. This is a very giving gesture, so really try to be graceful as you do it. To the back. Just a tiny movement of the wrist. In place. For the triple lifts, as we come to when we do them in the front, we're going to lift our hair up in the back, or if you don't have enough hair, you can just place your hands nicely on the back of your head. Let's try that. Single hits, up and down. Hair for the triple hits forward. 5, 6, 7, 8. Hit, step, hair for the triple back. Hit, step, step. Now let's bring them down. Open, lift, close, lift. Hair for the triple lift. Open, back, down, back, low for the triple. Again. Let's take it a step further. As we do our lifts, we're going to angle our body. So instead of just giving them a forward view at all times, as we step, we're going to turn and lift. Show them your hip. Step and turn, lift. Show them your hip. Step and turn, triple, lift. Same thing to the back. Step and turn, lift. Step and turn, lift. Step and turn, triple lift. Let's try that together with the arms and the turning. 5, 6, 5, 6. Start this side. Hit, step, lift. 2, 3 to the back. Turn and hip, step, lift. 2, 3, 4. Turn, hip, step, turn, triple lift. Back, lift, back, triple lift. That looks fantastic. Let's try another hip articulation called the hip circle. Before we break the movement down, just give it a try. So start with your dance posture. Knees bent, pelvis tucked, chest lifted, shoulders back and down. Let's just try a nice circling motion. This is one of those movements that sometimes makes more sense if you let your body try it first and let your brain give it a shot next. So let's break that down. The hip circle connects 4 points. It's a side hip extension, so just let your whole body shift out. Pretend that you're holding a baby or a big bag of groceries on your hip as you go. Press your hips forward. Bring them out to the other side, so again, that's that baby or bag of groceries. And press your hips to the back. Now this back position is very important. When you're back, you want to make sure that your back stays long and your pelvis stays tucked under. There's a real tendency to do what I call duck butt, where if you let your pelvis tilt back, first of all, this doesn't look very nice or very ladylike, but also it puts a lot of pressure on your lower back. So use your abs to pull that under. Okay. Let's try that again. 5, 6, just the points. Side, front, side, and back. Side, front, side, and back. So that's the skeleton of the hip circle. Next, we're going to try smoothing it out into a nice big round hip circle. Now, as you try this movement, keep in mind that it's more important to keep your hips level, to keep them parallel to the floor, than it is to get a really big circle. So don't worry if you can't make a huge circle yet. A tiny horizontal circle is best. What you don't want to do is to shift your hip out to the side and lift that hip up. Usually this happens when you straighten the leg. So keep this outside hip bent down to make room for the hip to go low. Now, I was doing this very large to exaggerate to show you the motion, but it's a very small circle. Let's try that. Points first, then smooth it out to your left. Left, front, right, and back. Diamond, left, front, right, to the back. Smooth it out. Left, front, right, back, left, front, right, back. Keep going. And stop. We're gonna go in the other direction. Ready? 5, 6, to the back. Back, front, front, side. A little faster. Back, side, front, side. Back, side, front, side. Back, side, front, side. Back, side, front, side. Let's add a little decoration to this called pulsing. This is going to look like back. And this pulsing movement comes from the knees bending. You're not lifting up your heels. It's all a nice gentle bend in the knees, like the floor is being dropped out from under you or there's an earthquake. So let's try to count that out, starting from the left side and going to the front. Here we go. Left, corner, corner, front, corner, corner, to the right. Corner, corner, to the back. Corner, corner, a little faster. Corner, front, corner, side. Corner, back, corner, side. Corner, front, corner, side. Corner, back, corner, side. Let's try that in the other direction. 5, 6, starting back. Corner, back, corner, side. Corner, front, corner, side. Corner, back, corner, side. Corner, front, corner, side. Now let's add a footwork pattern. I call this forward place, back place, because that's exactly what you're going to do. You bring your foot forward, the other foot goes down exactly where it was, doesn't move at all. The other one comes back, and it places again. So for those of you mirroring me, your left foot comes forward, your right foot places where it was. The left foot comes back, the right foot places where it was. Let me show you that from the side. That would look like left place, back left place, front left place, back left place, front left place, back left place, front left place, back left place. Now this is a perfectly good foot pattern as it is, but it'll be so much more elegant if we bring our weight up onto our toes. Now you don't need to come all the way up onto a full releve the way a ballerina would. Just take the weight off your heels. That will let you walk as if you were wearing high-heeled shoes, and that will give you a much nicer, kind of graceful, elegant move. So let's try that same movement. Again on your left side. 5, 6, here we go. Forward place, back place. And don't be afraid to let your hips sway with it. Forward place, back place, forward place, back place. Let's take it a step further. We're going to travel to our left as we do this movement. And we're going to do that by just stepping a little bit apart, and instead of placing, we bring it a little bit back together. A little bit apart to the back, a little bit in. Let's try that again. A little faster. Out, in, back out, in. Front out, in, back out, in. Let's take it in the other direction. Here we go. Right, in, back, in. Right, in, back, in. Right, in, back, in. Right, in, back, in. Let's give that all a try on our toes. We'll do 7 counts this way, and on the 8th count, we'll touch. So that will look like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, touch. Now we're going to step on the same foot to go this way. 5, 6, 5, 6, right foot forward, front, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and touch. Left place, back place, 5, 6, 7, touch. Front place, back place, front place, back, touch. Front place, back place, front place, back, touch. Let's come back to center. And let's try putting all of those movements that we've learned together so far. So this will begin with our hit, step, triple hit. Then we'll take it to the back, hit, 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 hit. From here, we'll go into our forward place, back place, 5, 6, 7, touch, and the other. And then from there, we're going to do some more fun stuff. So let's take that from here. 5, 6, with the lift. Lift, step, triple lift to the back, hit, 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 hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I miscued you a little bit there. In fact, we start the first combination with the hit and then go on to the step. So let's try that one more time. With the hit, 6, here we go. Hit, step, hit, 2, 3, back, hit, 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 hit. Step, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, touch. Now we're going to add a movement called the 3-count turn. This looks like step 1 to face the side, step 2 face the back, step 3 you're most of the way around, and on the 4th count, just touch with your foot. That's just a pause. Try it in the other direction. Step 1 to the side, 2 to the back, 3 to the front, and touch again. 1 to the side, 2 to the back, 3 to the side, and touch. Now it's nice if you let your arms come in as you face the back and open out as you come to the front. So let's try that part together. 5, 6, here we go. Side, back, side, touch. Side, back, side, touch. Side, back, side, touch. Side, back, side, touch. Now this is one of those movements that it may be hard to mirror me as we do this. So I'm going to try it again facing away from you so you can follow along with me. So we'll try that first to our right. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Side, back, side, front. 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 Gets a little trickier when the music gets faster, doesn't it? The most important thing to remember with a 3-count turn is that the bigger your steps are, the harder time you're going to have turning. So if you try to make a big circle, you're going to get all off balance. So you want your steps to be as tiny as possible so they stay right below your body. So that will look like turn, 2, 3, touch. Turn, 2, 3, touch. Can you see how much more stable that is? Let's try the 3-count turns again. 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn, 2, 3, touch. Turn, 2, 3, touch. Turn, 2, 3, touch. Turn, 2, 3, touch. Now in this touch moment, we have a little pause there, and it can be very nice to fill that with another movement. In this case, we're going to use the shoulder rolls we worked on in our warm-up, but instead of doing them together, we're going to do them separately. So let's try just your left first. Roll back. So that's forward, up and front, back and top, back and down. Smooth it out. Smooth it out. Other side. Down and front, up and front, up and back, down and back. Smooth it out. Smooth it out. Let's try that coming out of a 3-count turn. We'll do just one shoulder roll. 3-count turn this way. 1, 2, 3, and roll. 1, 2, 3, and roll. Let's have this circle a little slower. That will be turn, 2, 3, and roll. Turn, 2, 3, and roll. Now let's try all of that so far together. So that will be our single hit, triple hit, single hit, single hit, single hit, our 8 steps, and touch. And then from here, we're going to go straight into 1, 2, 3, roll. 1, 2, 3, roll. 5, 6, here we go. Hit, step, triple hit, here we go. Back, hit, lower, to the front again. Hit, step, triple hit, to the back, hit, lower hit, and step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Turn, 2, 3, roll. Turn, 2, 3, roll. Turn, 2, 3, roll. Turn, 2, 3, roll. Let's practice a few more movements that go particularly well with the taksim. That's this improvised section of the movement. We can do lots of snaky, sinuous movements with the body, but let's work with just our hands for now. The first movement that I want to show you is called a wrist circle. That looks like this. So your hands come down in front of you and open out. They come down in front of you and open out, like you're scooping all the wonderful things, maybe a barrel of gold coins and then sprinkling them away again, or splashing your face with water. Now you want this movement to be slow and snaky, like you're reaching into a pot full of sticky, sticky honey and you just scrape all the bits out. Let's try that together. Now remember that your hands are gorgeous and you want to direct the audience's attention there. So watch them as they move. Let's try hand waves or undulations. That starts with the wrist, the knuckle, second knuckle, and finger. Again, wrist, first knuckle, second knuckle, finger. Roll and out, roll and out, roll and out, roll and out. Other hand, wrist, first knuckle, second knuckle, finger. Wrist, first knuckle, second knuckle, finger. Smooth it out. Roll it out, roll it out. Press through the palm and then the back of the hand. Roll, roll. Let's take them together overhead. So we press our wrists together and the palms. Here we go. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Sweep up. Same thing, but let the hands cross. 5, 6, 7, 8. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, sweep. Again, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and sweep. Same thing with wrist circles. 5, 6, here we go. Circle and circle, 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 and sweep. 2, 3, circle 1 and 2, 3, and 4. So now we know all of the components of the dance that we're going to do. Let's give it a try together. I'll talk you through it without the music first, and then we'll try it together with the music. So the choreography goes like this. The song is going to open with a little bit of a fanfare by the brass section. So we want to start in a beautiful, strong pose. I recommend bringing your foot forward like we did with the hip lifts. And from this position, let your knee come in just a little bit. Your thighs love each other. Rotate your body a little bit to the side and bring your upper body over. This gives you a nice S curve. We're going to start with our hands down, and when the music gives us a strong beat, we're going to lift to a strong V position. While you're in this position, make sure that your shoulders are not squinched up around your ears. They should be nice and relaxed, and your chest needs to stay lifted. We're going to have another fanfare played, and we'll hold still as we do that. And then when we get the strong beat, we'll let the hands sigh down. But make sure that you don't collapse your chest when you sigh. It's not. So that's a relax, not a slump. Okay? So let's try that together. It's going to go da 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 da. Sweep up da 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 da, side down. From there, we're going to go into our hit step combination. So that will be hit, step, hit, step, hit, 2, 3, step, back, hit, back, triple hit, same thing forward, hit, step, hit, 2, 3 to the back, step, back, 2, 3, step. Don't forget that last step. So now our left foot is free. We're going to use our forward step place on our toes this way. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, touch. Then from here, we're going to go into our 3 count turns. 1, 2, 3, roll the shoulder, turn, 2, 3, roll the shoulder, turn, 2, 3, roll the shoulder, turn, 2, 3, roll the shoulder. Now to finish off the musical phrase, we're going to use our pulsing hip circles. So your weight is on your left side, and you're going to go straight to the back. So it'll be pulse, 2, 3, 4, front half 2, 3 again, pulse back, 2, 3, 4, front half 2, 3, 4. Now your weight is free on the right, and we're going to repeat the exact same thing, but on the other side. So let's talk through that whole thing, including the repetition. 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a pause and a lift, another pause, and a sigh. We go straight into hit, step, hit, 2, 3 to the back, hit, back, lower, again to the front, hit, step, 2, 3 to the back, hit, back, triples, don't forget the step, on your toes, 2, 5, 6, 7, touch, turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll, turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll, turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll, last one, shoulder roll and pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and pulse, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and hit, step, lift, and step, hit, back, 2, 3, again, hit, step, 2, 3 to the back, hit, back, triple hit, don't forget the step, toes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turn, 1, 2, 3, and a roll, 1, 2, 3, and a roll, 1, 2, 3, and a roll, 1, 2, 3, last roll, and pulse, back, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now from this section, the music is going to go into a taksim. That's an improvised solo that one of the musicians plays. And a taksim is usually improvised by the dancer as well. So we're going to use all these beautiful hand movements that we've got so far. I'll lead you, but feel free to go off and do your own freestyle arm movements. Really go with whatever the music is saying to you. And after that, the fast section will come through again. So we'll come back into our hit step, triple step. So let's try all of that together with the counts first, no music, and then we'll try it with the music together. 5, 6, left hip first. Hit, step, triple hit. Don't forget to step. Hit, back, triple hit. Step to the front. Hit, front, triple hit. Step to the back. Hit, step, triple hit. Don't forget the step to your toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, touch. Turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll. Turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll. Turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll. Turn, 2, 3, shoulder roll, and circle. 2, 3, 4. Again, circle. 2, 3, 4. Other way. Hit, step, triple hit. Back hit, lower hit. Again, front step, triple hit. Back step, triple down. Don't forget the step to your toes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and turn. 1, 2, 3, shoulder roll. 1, 2, 3, shoulder roll. 1, 2, 3, shoulder roll, and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and into our improvised section. So let's try that all together with the music. Come into your nice pose, and we'll wait for it. Ready? Strong lift. Ready? Side down. Hit, step, triple hit. Step back, lift, triple lift to the front. Hit, step, triple lift to the back. Hit, back, triple lift, step and toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, turn. 1, 2, 3, shoulder roll, turn. 2, 3, shoulder roll, turn. 2, 3, shoulder roll, turn. 2, pulsing circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, front. 2, 3, 4, back. 2, 3, 4, front. Again, right side. Hit, step, 2, 3, back. Hit, back, triple hit to the front. Hit, back, step, triple lift. Hit, back, triple lift. Don't forget the step. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ready for turns. Shoulder roll, shoulder roll, shoulder roll, shoulder roll to the back. Front. Quiet part. Come into a nice pose. We'll sweep up when the music starts. Pause there. Turn your hands and undulate. Sweep it out and bring it into your chest. All the energy into your heart, out to the audience, and up. And wrist circles. Remember, they're the most fascinating thing ever. Don't let them miss it. And again, feel free to add your own movements and your own variations. Just one hand. And the other. Undulate in front of your face. Sweep out. Let's add some shoulder rolls. Walk around in a circle as you do these. Hit, step, and triple hit to the back. Hit, back, triple hit into a pose. How did that feel? Would you like to try it again with the music? Let's give it another try. Ready? And big sweep. Side down, hit, step, triple hit. To the back, hit, step, triple hit. And toes, sorry. To the front again, triple hit. Hit, step, triple hit. Now on your toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Touch and turn. 1. Shoulder roll. Shoulder roll. And a roll to the circle. Other side. Hit, step, triple hit. Hit, step, triple hit. To the front again. To the back. Don't forget the step to your toes. And the turns. Shoulder roll. And a roll. And a roll. And a roll to the houses. Again, the toxine brings us up into a nice pose. Cross your hands in front this time. Keep the energy in and push it down. Bring it up and scoop it down with wrist circles. Beautiful face, beautiful rib cage. Beautiful hips. Sweep up. Let's try that again. Beautiful hands. Beautiful face. Beautiful rib cage. Beautiful hips. Now freestyle. Anything that occurs to you. We have our shoulder rolls, our wrist circles, our hand undulations. Any variation that appeals to you. Hit, step, big finale. To the back. After the triple hits, big pose. And 1, 2, and your finish. So how did that feel? That song is called Zaina. It's a classical Egyptian piece by the composer Mohammed Abdel Wahab, and it's available on Amazon.com as well as many other sources.
That was unbelievable.
Thank you, Jojo.
Oh my goodness. Nadira Jamal. Right? Did I say your name right?
Nadira Jamal, yes.
Nadira Jamal.
Close enough.
So this is great. So people can see you at Life Force.
Third Life Studio.
Third Life Studio. I'm killing this. Third Life Studio in Somerville.
That's correct.
Wednesday nights at 8 p.m.
That's correct.
You were terrific.
Thank you.
You guys were great.
I'd also like to thank my beautiful students here.
Yes, it was a little bit, when you're dancing, it's a little bit of ballet and aerobics.
Just a little bit. It's a good workout if you don't move a lot.
Do you have a website you want to leave everyone?
I do. You can find my classes on bellydancesomerville.com.
Belly, B-E-L-L-Y, dance, Somerville, S-O-M-E-R-V-I-L-E.com in Somerville. Excellent. All right. So this was...